Welcome to The Big Idea. I'm your host, Faith Lark. Today, on The Big Idea, imagine a leader forging unity from chaos, only to face a heartbreaking loss that threatens to undo everything: his death. Today, discover how the Prophet Muhammad's life shaped a message of resilience, and how his teachings offer a stunning lesson about the power of forgiveness amidst betrayal. A worn sandal lies abandoned in the dust of Medina, its owner's final breath still echoing through the narrow streets. The year is 632 CE, and Muhammad, the man who transformed Arabia from a land of warring tribes into a unified force for change, has just died. His companions gather in stunned silence, their faces etched with an impossible question: how do you continue a message of unity when its messenger is gone? You might think this is where the story ends, but to understand the true power of his legacy, you must first witness how an orphaned boy became the voice that would reshape the world. Walk with me through the bustling markets of 6th century Mecca. The air is thick with the scent of frankincense and myrrh, merchants' voices rising above the crowd like waves in a human sea. Here stands young Muhammad, already known as Al-Amin, the trustworthy one. Watch as he witnesses the daily parade of injustice: slaves bearing impossible burdens, widows begging for scraps, the wealthy few growing fat on the desperation of many. His heart burns with each scene, but his position as a respected merchant offers both privilege and painful awareness. You recognize this feeling, don't you? That gnawing sense that something is deeply wrong, paired with the terrifying knowledge that speaking up could cost you everything. Picture a boy who prefers the company of silence to the chaos of crowds. While other children play their games of war and commerce, young Muhammad retreats to the hills surrounding Mecca. The locals whisper about his strangeness, this orphan who seems to carry the weight of the world in his quiet gaze. But in his solitude, he's developing something rare: the courage to question everything he's been taught to accept. You know this solitude too, don't you? Those moments when you step back from the world's noise and dare to ask if there might be a better way. At 25, Muhammad's life takes an unexpected turn. Khadija, a wealthy widow 15 years his senior, recognizes something extraordinary in this thoughtful young man and proposes marriage. Their union brings him financial security and social standing, yes, but it also marks him as different in a culture obsessed with tribal connections and traditional hierarchies. In their shared home, he finds both sanctuary and challenge. While others chase wealth and status, Muhammad and Khadija build something rarer: a partnership founded on mutual respect and shared values. Their relationship becomes a quiet rebellion against the materialistic culture surrounding them. The cave of Hira stands like a wound in the mountain's face, a place where the veil between ordinary and extraordinary grows thin. Here, at 40 years old, Muhammad retreats regularly to wrestle with the great questions that plague him. The injustice in Mecca's streets follows him into his meditation. The suffering of the poor haunts his prayers. Then one night, everything changes. The angel Gabriel appears, commanding him to read, in a voice that shakes the very foundations of his being. Terror grips him. How can he, an unlettered merchant, be chosen as a messenger? The weight of divine responsibility crushes against his chest like a physical force. Trembling and uncertain, Muhammad returns home to Khadija. Watch as he shares his experience, expecting doubt but finding unwavering support. This moment teaches you something profound about transformation. Even the strongest leaders need someone to believe in them before they can fully believe in themselves. Her acceptance becomes the foundation upon which a movement will be built. If you're enjoying The Big Idea, please like, subscribe, and scan the QR code for our free 7-day email course, Mental Models Mastery. Learn to make better decisions and think like Einstein, Da Vinci, and Socrates. Now back to the episode. The message spread slowly at first, like water seeping through desert sand. But as more people embrace Muhammad's call for monotheism and social justice, Mecca's power structure begins to crack. The elite respond with increasingly brutal persecution. They torture his followers, spread vicious lies, and impose crushing economic sanctions. Yet something remarkable happens. The more they try to silence him, the stronger his message grows. You see it in the eyes of the slaves who find dignity in his words, in the merchants who abandon wealth for principle, in the women who discover their voices matter. Then comes the year of sorrow. Khadija, his beloved wife and strongest supporter, dies. Shortly after, his protective uncle Abu Talib follows. Muhammad stands alone against a tide of hatred, stripped of his two greatest defenders. The persecution intensifies. Walking through Mecca's streets, he faces mockery, violence, and assassination attempts. But watch closely, this is where true leadership reveals itself. In his darkest hour, when revenge would be easiest, he chooses mercy. When hatred surrounds him, he preaches love. Medina calls, offering sanctuary and hope. The Hijra begins not a retreat, but a strategic move to build something new. In this city, Muhammad transforms from spiritual leader to statesman. He unites feuding tribes, establishes the first constitution protecting minority rights, and creates a community based on merit rather than tribal loyalty. You're witnessing something revolutionary, a society where former enemies pray side by side, where the poor sit in council with the wealthy, where women have rights to property and divorce. When Muhammad finally returns to Mecca, it's with an army so large it darkens the horizon. The city that once persecuted him now lies defenseless. Everyone expects bloodshed, it's the traditional way after all. Instead, he offers universal amnesty. This moment transcends time, speaking directly to you. True power lies not in the ability to take revenge, but in the courage to break cycles of violence. Now we return to that abandoned sandal in Medina's dust. Muhammad's physical presence has ended, but look at what remains. A message that transformed Arabia and beyond, a blueprint for building communities based on justice rather than power, an example of leadership through service rather than force. His greatest legacy isn't in the empire that followed, but in showing how one person's unwavering commitment to truth and compassion can change the world. So here's your challenge. In a world still torn by tribal thinking and cycles of revenge, how will you embody Muhammad's core message? Not through blind imitation, but by asking yourself the hard questions he faced. When you witness injustice, will you speak up despite the cost? When you gain power, will you choose mercy over vengeance? When your community fractures, will you build bridges instead of walls? His final footsteps have faded, but the path he blazed remains clear. True greatness lies not in conquering others, but in conquering our own capacity for hatred and fear. The worn sandal in the dust reminds us that even the most extraordinary journeys begin with a single step. What will yours be? On the next episode of The Big Idea. The hero of this episode discovered something that ignited a new faith, but what happens when different faiths collide? Imagine a world where the pursuit of spiritual truth leads not to conflict, but to a profound understanding of unity. What if I told you that the answers lie in the heart of ancient India? Next time, we journey to 8th century India to explore the life of an extraordinary child prodigy, a philosopher who sought to harmonize diverse spiritual traditions. His quest for knowledge will challenge everything you thought you knew about faith and unity. Next week, we're delving into the depths of Indian thought, and this spiritual leader offers a timeless message of unity in diversity, promising enlightenment and a deeper connection to the world around you. Don't miss this incredible journey of self-discovery and the profound impact of ancient wisdom on our modern world. Please like, subscribe, and scan the QR code or follow the pinned link to get our free 7-day email course, Mental Models Mastery. 7 mental models used by humanity's greatest minds. Think clearer, decide faster, and spot opportunities everyone misses. Click the video that just popped up to watch the next one in this series. Or for episode summaries, behind-the-scenes info, and more, go to daily8.com/bi. Thanks for watching.